huge props to you. And actually for people who want to check it out, it's right there.
It's right there.
Right there,
There's
actually.
Parliament.
It's an amazing place, amazing people, but for you to get conversation with those people, you need to be in this close group of some elite, if I may say so.
Right.
Some early adapters, OGs.
Sure.
That's something I've been doing for a long time, and right now I'm trying to educate people, bring to the space also by showcasing all this event, showcasing all these people.
Yeah.
So one of the way for me, apart from being this business person, connector in the space, is to actually educate people through my podcast. They started a couple of months ago, already brought some of biggest OGs there. Evan McMullen from Disco XYZ, OSF from Rag Radio, Rag Guys, so people there. Actually, a week from now, it's a big week for me here today because I'm meeting a lot of people from, as you mentioned, around the world.
Right.
Some people are coming from the US directly, especially my friends from Rag Radio.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Next
I'm looking forward. I'm going to hang out with Benjamin and Patrick.
Exactly.
And
We're going to meet them today.
You're jumping in.
Exactly, next week.
Yeah, so I told Rag Radio, I'm like, you know, I make all this content for NFT.NYC and NFT.London, which is now twice a year.
Yeah.
But my content creation for the Web3 community lasts for like a few weeks, several weeks.
Exactly.
But I'd be into having conversations ongoing. And I could do it independently as myself or with my company, Attention.Live. But I thought, you know, I really like what Rug Radio is doing.
You're gifted. You're gifted
that's
to
very
it
kind of you.
in a
Thank you.
way that you know how to connect with people.
Yeah.
You actually know what is a spicy topic to discuss.
Right,
like me seeing you yesterday connecting, like we had what, like maybe 100 people?
Yeah, it was a lot.
More. And basically you managed to connect with all of them in one way or another.
Yeah.
This is just a brilliant skill
thank you so much.
that you need to work on further on because that's something that establish your layer in this space. So I'm starting with Rag Radio next week.
That's
November
good.
the 8th. Our show is called Origins XYZ.
All right.
I'm starting with another wonderful lady from here, London, Hannah. She's known as Rect Alice in the space. She's a big supporter of Animoca brands. She's an advisor for them. She's a big supporter of Rag Radio. And we said, you know why? You know what? Like instead of us just going to all these events, filming like some small parts of it or having me my own podcast, I guess we're ready to have something bigger. Specifically me as one of the first holders of Rag Radio, like one of the first supporters, like from last year when Farouk even started in Clubhouse and moved to Twitter Spaces, was like, what, 80 listeners at first, now it's a couple of thousand already. So we decided that we're gonna start our show, but there is a catch, not just a show like everyone else, but a specific show located here in Europe. Why? Because without any doubt, like 95% of all NFT space right now coming from the US. The US, Canada, and those people might have some misunderstanding of what the space is here in Europe. And I'm talking about London, I'm talking about Paris, Lisbon, Amsterdam, Berlin. And these places are huge.
Yes.
And these places are growing, emerging right now. So
where are you based at?
I'm based in Latvia. Okay. Nothing big is happening
which part
in
of Latvia?
Riga, that's the capital. So that's basically middle of the Baltics. Nothing big is happening there yet.
Right.
So for me to be active, that's why I need to be on those stages. I need to be connected with people all around the world. But I'm about to move to London very, very soon, next year. So one of the strategic moves to move to London actually is also to continue the show, to work on it on some bigger scale. And the goal of it is to bring some of the biggest OGs from all around the world, but with this European mindset.
Right.
Some of the biggest news that are happening in Europe, some of the biggest companies that are based here in Europe, like companies like Ledger, Sandbox, Serrata, they are all based here.
Would Sandbox still be considered based in Paris?
Yes, exactly. Like
because that's where Sebastian is in his core team.
Exactly. So me, like presenting with Sebastian.
And where's Ledger based at?
Also Paris.
It is, okay.
Yeah, actually they have their
offices. I met
offices.
Ian Rogers, who became kind of their new chief. I really like what Ian brought to the table when we had connected recently.
I had lunch with Jean-Michel.
Okay.
He's a guy at Ledger, like 10 days ago or something like this. There is a big event happening, Ledger Open.
Right.
So this is beginning of December. That's basically their big biannual conference around some of new innovations around Ledger community. I know that Farouk is coming.
Yep.
I know that Betty from Dead Fellas is coming as well. So
Right.
I would absolutely love to see you there as well.
When's the date?
Paris, December 6th and 7th.
That's possible. I'm going to be in Manila, Philippines,
November 14th, 15th. 27th.
27th through December 11th. But I intended on the event. Our Philippine Blockchain Week event is the 28th through the 4th.
Okay.
I was intending on jumping over to Singapore and maybe Dubai while I was still kind of there and bouncing back. Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to make it over. So that happens in the Philippines. Are you going to that? You were invited to that?
I was invited. I'm not coming this time due to many reasons. The most obvious one, it takes me like 20 hours to get there.
It takes a long time. That's right.
And I'm also invited to present at East Gathering. So
it takes you 20 hours to get there from Latvia?
Yeah. Because there are 2 or 3 planes, so it's not direct way.
Yes, I have a direct flight from where I live. So I get a direct flight right from my town to Manila.
Lucky
that makes
you.
It, I know.
Lucky
makes
you.
it very, very easy.
Yeah.
It's probably hard for you to travel internationally.
I mean, Europe is pretty easy.
Yes,
Like it took me 3 hours to get here to London.
Did you
it's
get
much more
flight?
Yeah, of course. Like Europe, almost everywhere.
Okay.
But the other reason is I'm invited. I'm presenting at East Gathering. So there's another conference happening in Barcelona. It's the same dates.
Yes.
So I have it is just a question of priorities.
Right.
Should I spend one day coming there? Even though I believe the event is going to be amazing. Like I have a lot of friends there in the Philippines, like Breeder DAO, Eden Ventures, Yield Guild Games. They're all awesome. They're all amazing.
Right.
Actually, I shared the stage with Sebastian together with all these guys from the Philippines.
Right.
So like the gaming ecosystem there is huge, and I'm a big fan of Web3 gaming as well. But Europe is still priority for me.
Right.
That's where I have this exposure. That's where I have all these connections. And I mean, come on, right now we're sitting here in the center of Europe. That's
incredible.
That's how it is.
I want to ask you about the different types of stages that you get invited to. So there's the solo talk, there's the panel, and these are often on stages. Then there's like a one-on-one conversation like we're having here. And then finally it would be like the things that happen at like the House of Lords. Right, like I had a camera set up and I grabbed you and I handed you a microphone and then asked you to speak. Or at the thought leadership dinner tonight, right? I imagine there might be a media person or two that like has people in a corner and is kind of.
Exactly.
So when it comes to these 4 things, you talking on a stage, you being on a panel on a stage, you doing a one-on-one like this, or Twitter Spaces like what you're gonna do with Rug Radio, or you just being around peers and then kind of capturing a moment, maybe just yourself looking at a camera. What do you enjoy about those different types of stages, and what do you find most effective in your communication ability when it comes to these different types of platforms?
Actually, there is one more to add to yours. It's the 5th one. It's one-on-one on stage. It's like basically a fireside chat.
Yes.
Yeah, like 1 month ago at Live, also here in London, during the Web3 week, I had a fireside chat with Stephen Bartlett.
Right.
And Stephen Bartlett is perhaps the biggest entrepreneur based here in London because he's the youngest Dragon Den. He's one of the most successful entrepreneurs. He has the biggest business podcast here in Europe. So he is huge. So we had also this chat, but answering your question, basically, the idea is the same. Your goal is to get connected with people due to 2 main reasons. First of all, we're still extremely early.
Right.
And for you to be well exposed around this space, knowing people, like right now you need to know like 10, maybe 15 people who are well connected with everyone else to know the whole Web3 space. So you know someone from Canada, someone from the US, from France, you're good.
Yes.
That's reason number 1. Reason number 2, we're still in this space, and I believe that it's going to last for like next 5, maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
We're not competing with each other.
Right.
We're complementing.
Yes.
The way what we're doing right now with you, we're trying to uplift each other in different ways. So you have this channel, you have this way to bring my brand up.
Right.
I have the way to connect you with some people who are coming here. So we're trying to complement, help each other. So that is the main goal of me coming to all these events, coming to all these gatherings, connecting with people. The simple way how you do it, when you are already there, you smile to people and you say hi.
Right.
So never think of you too much, like, hey, I'm the biggest OG here or whatever. Whenever you are at an event, there is going to be a guy or a woman who is bigger, better than you in one or another way.
Yes.
Someone who minted like 100 apes like a year ago, and you would never know about this guy. He might be the most humble one in the room, the quiet one. Someone who is running the biggest company out there. But the goal here is to put yourself at the same level as everyone else, because this decentralization, the Web3 space, it erases any background, any cultural differences or whatsoever. We all are equal. We're all are building the space for people to be used in the next 10, 20, 50 years from now. So we all are putting ourselves at the same level. So me being open-minded to all of these people, me being trustworthy, transparent about my background. Because I have a unique background just like you, just like everyone else here. And me being able to share those stories. Some rug pulls I was a part of from this project like last year and I just recovered. Or the way how I traded my first Bitcoin back like 5 years, something like that. There are a lot of funny stories, there is a lot of sad stories, there are a lot of interesting stories to share with people. And that is the way how you get connected, because all of us, once again, like you need to know these 10 people to be well connected. So all of us know a guy or someone with whom we're connected. So just share your story, just be unique, just be open-minded, just enjoy it. Because that is the biggest difference between Web 2 space and Web 3. Whenever I went to Web 2 conference, and there is one conference that is happening right now in Lisbon, Web Summit. Whenever you go to these marketing, sales conferences, people are shy to come and talk. People are thinking too much about themselves, or too cool to chat with you, or they know everything. I am approaching myself, even though I'm a Web 3 since 2017, it's been like, what, 5, almost 6 years now, relatively early, I've approached myself that if I would not know anything at all. So I have some background, I have some experience, I have some success stories, I'm well exposed in different communities, but still, I'm open-minded to learn. I'm open-minded to hear your story. I'm open-minded to learn about this project. I'm ready to jump here if it makes sense for me. I'm ready to support you. That's how this Web3 space differs from Web 2. Me coming to all these gatherings, as you mentioned, all these dinners, all these events, I want to share the story, I want to hear you out, and I want to interact. It's not like I'm closed and I'm sitting here like, hey, I'm the coolest guy in the room. No, I might be the lowest guy, but it doesn't actually matter. We're all equal, we all came here to learn, to build, because we're still early, because there is still a lot to learn. Going through all these ups and downs, all these cycles. And right now, actually, bear market, as I call it, build market, is the best way for you to build.
Absolutely.
Some of those projects are going to pop up in the next couple of years, they're building right now. And you being early in these projects, you're understanding this technology, like talking about smart contracts, talking about DAOs, that's the way how you build your legacy further on.
In terms of NFT.London, you know, it's all day extravaganza. Thursday the 3rd, Friday the 4th. We'll have 5 different stages that will run all day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. No breaks, no entertainment. You get access to a lot of different events, right? Now this will be different than NFT.NYC in that NFT.NYC was spread throughout all of Times Square. This is in one place. What do you enjoy about the non-stop kind of all the stages running, all the speakers kind of coming through very, very quick? What do you find that you enjoy about that? Because not every event is like that. There's a lot of events that they put emphasis on more for networking or more for entertainment and bringing musicians in and having buffer time and having, you know, so everything has its good, but what do you find good about kind of this structure? Because we love that you're back, you know, with us and speaking with us this year.
I'm coming here to work hard. So, you know the saying in Web3 that we're not gonna sleep during all these conferences, during all this week, and that's how it works. You have a lot of side events that actually happened yesterday. We already started like with your gathering, and we're continuing today. There is a main stage that is basically Thursday, Friday, but there is a lot of events happening around it. At the same venue, around the venue. So I'm coming here to work hard. I'm coming here to have that little of sleep and that much of communication, networking, speaking on stages, connecting with people. So I'm approaching it as not as some kind of vacation, some kind of fun or whatsoever, even though I'm having this fun, I'm enjoying a lot. But actually as one of the hardest weeks of the year, because everyone from all around the world is coming here. And like you mentioned NFT.NYC.
Right.
You remember expectations were what, like 5, 7K people at the beginning?
That's right.
It was 2 times bigger, if not more.
Yeah,
at least according to official stats. I do believe it was even more because not everyone got the ticket, but a lot of people were around.
We sold 16,000 tickets. Yeah. And then it's hard to range, but there was 10 to 15,000 people that came to New York that didn't have tickets. So it was like 25, 30,000 people that came to Times Square
3-4
to
times
spend
bigger.
a week with each other.
Yeah,
right?
3-4 times bigger. So I expect this event actually to be like 15K plus.
Oh no, just to set your expectations, this is going to be smaller because it's the first year.
I know, but that is according to the official, like how many tickets you have sold. But
I see what
do
you're saying.
believe.
Yeah, I mean, I could see, well, here's what I can say. There's already over 70 community events in addition to ours. So let's just say there's going to be 100 community events. Yes, it wouldn't be surprising if maybe 10,000 people engage with community events that don't come to our event. And that's the whole point of NFT.London, NFT.NYC, is we're an anchor, right? We drop this anchor, so we're an event that's centralized, really, right? It's run by .cred,
but around it,
but everything else is decentralized around it, and we empower everybody else.
That's the Web3 space, exactly. So I'm coming here not to sleep, not to rest. I'm coming here actually to execute by connecting with people, by presenting on stage. So I'm a big fan of this non-stop conference, non-stop panels, because everyone can find something that is interesting to her or him. Whether we're talking about talks and perhaps for newcomers to the space, some people who just got onboarded here, that is the best thing to have, like the schedule. From 8 to 9 I'm here, from 9 to 10 I'm here. I'm more of a guy of this private gatherings, some smaller events, just like this chat, where I can have one-on-one with like 10 people who are at this event for the next 3 hours, for example. And I can actually propose something to some of them. I can hear something in my side. I already know some of these people from like previous projects, previous stages, so I can just check how are they doing and things like that. And that's also a perfect way for me to reconnect with some of my old friends and make some of new friends, because the space is growing constantly. So for you to be actively engaged with all those people who are coming there, that's the goal going long term. You don't want to, like in 2025, you don't want to leave with vision and ideas from 2022. You want to evolve with this space. New minds are coming, and actually a lot of young people are coming. My friend, Benjamin. Benjamin is 13-year-old genius, as I'm calling him. He's based here in London. So I got a podcast with him this weekend. He's only 13-year-old. He's already presenting at all stages. 2 weeks ago, he was presenting at Oxford University. And he's thinking of applying for Oxford University in, like 5 years when he graduates from school. But he's already presenting there for all these teens who doesn't actually know what the Web3 space is about, but he's only at the age of 13. So I mean, the entry point is extremely early, extremely like low. People age 15, 18, they're already trading with some cryptos. They already know what those overpriced JPGs, as they call them, are, and that's also the beauty of it. It's the space itself is so diversified in a way of gender, culture, age, interests, and that's what I love about it the most.
It's awesome.
Just think of both of us. We're coming from different backgrounds, different cultures, but we're here somewhere in the middle where we can connect, and we have a lot of interests in common. We're just enjoying this chat. We're just enjoying being together, and there's a lot of people like us who are enjoying this space for the sake of having this more secured, more open-minded ecosystem. Something that Web2 space often cannot bring.
Yeah. If people see this and they want to follow up with you, what's the best way for people to connect with you?
I guess the best way would be Twitter.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's at Cikaluk. It's Cikaluk N.
Yep.
On Twitter, I'm real active on Twitter, taking into account that I'm starting a reg radio show right now.
So when is the reg radio show going to happen? It's going to be an audio Twitter Spaces.
It's going to be
you said
audio.
Hannah from London.
Yes, Hannah from London is going to be Rect Alice. Is going to be on Twitter Spaces, audio, just like any reg radio right now. Once a week, we're starting from Tuesday.
Okay.
We're going to have some big guests coming.
Is there a time that it's set for?
Yes, actually, it's 2 p.m. British Standard Time.
Okay.
So it should be
That's
huge.
accessible. So that 9 a.m. East Coast time, 6 a.m.
yes,
Pacific time.
Yes.
And then that's good for everybody in Europe, really.
I mean, like, it's amazing for Europe, since it's mainly focused on Europe, but still for people coming from the US, it's also possible. Like, if you're waking up early, that would be way number one. Way number two, my podcast on YouTube, We in Web3, launched a couple of months ago. It's also a good way to learn a bit more about my friends, just like you, who are coming to the show, to learn about their stories, to learn about the way how they join the space. Like, for example, the episode that is dropping this Thursday during the first day of the conference is OSF, Ovi from London, a member of Rag Radio, a member of Reg Guys. He's also a founder of Canary Labs XYZ. That is the company who is currently the fourth biggest holders of Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Okay, right.
So it's one of the way for you to learn how do these people become like top 4 holders of apes, or how do these people approach NFTs right now? What are some of the strategies they're approaching? How do they approach being doxxed or added? So my show, like the way how I educate people, the way how I show these unique stories is to have this friendly conversation, just like we're having right now, to actually have some unique story, some original story.
Are your podcasts mostly digital, like you're doing this on Zoom?
Yes, the podcast is mainly digital, but the first episode was Benjamin's that I told you that was filmed this weekend. It's airing at the end of November. It was the first live episode, so I'm also slowly moving into this live interaction, because like us coming to this conference and having all these people around cost nothing to gather at some place, have a lovely chat, film it, edit it, and voila. Because I love this live interaction. So your first question here today was how do I approach all these conferences? I just adore having live interaction, because the last time we had discussion with you, it was online.
That's right.
It's cool.
It's cool.
But still, you cannot feel these emotions.
No, it's different.
You cannot touch. You cannot like hug the friend. You cannot like have this cool environment. That's something that I'm enjoying right now a lot.
How long are your podcast interviews for the most part?
1 hour, 1.5 in some cases. The goal here is not to be in a rush, because a lot of episodes are like, a lot of podcasts I know are like 20, 25 minutes, but I feel it's in a rush. You cannot have a proper intro, you cannot have a proper like this connection story, because almost all of my guests who are coming there, they're good friends of mine. Either I presented with them, where I'm having some projects in common, some business with them, so I'm well connected with those people as well. So I want also to show this original story of connecting with them. Where did I meet them? What do we have in common? Which friends do we approach together? So I want to have this friendly conversation, not to be in a rush, but at the same time, I don't want it to be too long, to have this attention of audience. So like around an hour, that's something that I love a lot.
Good. Well, I could talk with you for hours, but I also want to be sensitive on time. We get to spend time together tonight, the Thought Leadership Dinner.
Exactly.
Tomorrow there's the VIP dinner for all the speakers. Of course, we'll